she's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about a feel.
So for this first clay ring, we are going to be needing some clay, and we are taking air dry clay because for us it's way easier than the polymer clay because you have to bake it. So for now we are just like taking the clay and kneading it out properly. So as you guys can see, I'm just like rolling the clay out, and I'm going to be flattening the upper part of the ring because you have to flatten it out so that you can have some beads on it and it will look more pleasing. So now as you guys can see, I'm just like pinching up the sides because I have to give it a ring shape. So yes. To take the size, I'm taking my own finger, and you guys can see how I am sizing the ring up. So now that you are satisfied with how the things look, you are just going to take the back of the ring and you are going to cut the excess clay out, and yeah. Now I'm just simply gonna join the ends of the ring because you have to make it a little bit sturdy. So yes, I'm doing that and smoothing it out with my own fingers. So after I'm done with the ring, I'm just going to be adding some beads just to get an idea and let it dry. So for the next DIY, I'm rolling the clay out in a thin form, and now I'm just like folding the clay up together so you guys can see how I'm doing it. And please don't mind my hands shaking throughout the video because it was our first time making these rings and I was like so nervous. So as you guys can see, I'm flattening the clay out because it was not fitting any of my finger, and I had to add a patch at the back of the ring to make it a ring. But it ended up working really well. So the next ring is super easy. You just have to roll the clay out, and as you guys can see, after rolling you have to size the clay up using your fingers. Like according to your fingers you can size it up. So after sizing the rings out, you have to like take any kind of sharp thing to cut it off, and you guys can see we are using a cutter, and be careful while doing these kind of steps, just don't hurt yourself. So yes, you have to like cut the excess off and then make sure that the back is smooth. Just sculpt it out, and yes. So next you have to roll the clay out and then flatten it up as we are going with a wide looking ring. So what you have to do is to see the thickness and then cut the sides off using any kind of cutter or X-Acto knife. Just be careful while doing these kind of steps. So yes. After cutting, you have to like attach them together at the back as we have done it previously. So now we are making like two little dots for the eyes of the frog, as we are making a frog kind of ring. So yes, so just attach the eyes with the ring and you're done. As you guys can see, we have made like different kinds of rings, and you can make them too, and we are going to be letting them dry, and yes. After the rings are dried, it's time for us to paint them, and we are using nail paints to paint them because it gives a glossy finish, and we are using tweezers to grab them up because we don't want paint to get on our fingers too. So yes, so now you just have to paint the rings with whatever color you want, and you can do like 2 to 3 coats to make them look like more opaque and stuff like that. So yes. After we are done painting the ring, we actually painted the pearls using like spray paint to make them look golden because we wanted the gold look as the Manso rings are actually with the golden pearls. So if you don't want to use the nail paint, we are actually using the acrylic paints too. You just have to take the acrylic paint off of whatever color you like and just start painting your ring. after painting the ring, we are adding the details, and yes. So now, as you guys can see, our ring is pretty much done, and we are going to be applying like clear nail polish to all the rings that we have made using acrylic color, because acrylic color is not glossy. So here are all the finished rings.
She's a Mona Lisa.
I pretend we're picture perfect when we're breaking beneath the surface.